Notre Dame looking for its first home victory of the season tonight, as the Cougars go all the way back to the keeper, Lucas Fontana, the senior and second-year Chicago State keeper. Irish with room to break out immediately through KK Bafour. On a warm evening, the penultimate day of meteorological summer here in South Bend. Temperatures in the low 80s. Clouds moving out of the area. Josh Ramsey switching the field all the way over to Jack Flanagan, the sophomore forward, who has a goal on the season. Up at it goes to Matthew Rue, the man we spotlighted in the open. Bafour has it now with the right foot, firing high and outside to the right. And Lucas Fontana diving back the other direction, so maybe some space in that upper corner, but not quite there for Bafour. KK Bafour, junior from Southport, Connecticut. Ghana originally, looking for his first goal of the season and start number 6. Notre Dame controlling possession early, much like it did throughout the second half last Saturday against number 1 Stanford at home. It was a 1-0 loss for the Irish, but not for a lack of chances. Notre Dame outshot the Cardinal 15-4. Stanford down to 10 men as Chicago State makes a run forward with Hillary Odhiambo, the junior from Nairobi, Kenya. The Irish defend him well with Ramsey moving back for help. Loss on Saturday for Notre Dame, just the second regular season Irish loss since October 18th of 2022. Jackson Keel's 22nd minute goal off a corner kick for Stanford made all the difference. Irish goal on for Flanagan. The ball finds him near the corner. Flanagan, a good cut back, has a chance for service. It's behind Rue. Green a chance to chase it down on the backside, but Dasha Curiel beats him to the spot. And sets up an Irish throw-in right near the corner flag. Chicago State takes over possession. The Cougars are coming off 3-0 loss last Sunday against Milwaukee at home, so Chicago State has had a bit more time off than the Irish coming into this matchup. The Cougars' only victory of the season back on September 2nd at Detroit Mercy, a 2-1 win. And the key for Chicago State this year has been getting off to fast starts. Overall, the Cougars have been outscored by a 7-1 margin in the first half this year, but when we asked head coach Norris how's about that lone victory at Detroit Mercy just over 2 weeks ago, he mentioned the key to success for Chicago State was scoring early, going up 1-0, and then maintaining that attack. That constant pressure from Chicago State made a big difference.
Yeah, it's a team that likes to have possession of the ball, that likes to get their style of play, even if their opposing team is obviously attacking, as the Irish like to do a lot. The Irish like as well to keep constantly, at least during the first half, high pressure, and it's going to be a tough matchup precisely because of this clashing styles of play.
Cougars maintaining possession. Now a drive into the 18-yard box from Odhiambo, lands for Green on the back end with some pressure in his vicinity. Lost the ball forward for KK Bafour. Bafour looking to use his wheels. He somehow kept that ball in play. Now for Matthew Rue, the flag's up, he's offside, and play comes to a halt.
So far from the Irish, a few runs over one side of the pitch, a few runs on the other side of the pitch. So we've seen in the past few games, they like to play with their wingers, they like to play as wide as they can when it comes to attacking, and eventually find that man in the middle. Today an opportunity to do that with Rue.
Notre Dame continues to press up high. The long ball from Fontana falls for Genenbacher. He has some space to locate Ramsey just over 5 minutes in. Notre Dame and Chicago State meeting for just the second time in their program histories. In fact, the Cougars have only been around since the 2020-21 season at the Division I level, and this is the fourth different conference for 4 years for the Chicago State program. It was the Western Athletic Conference in 21, then the Mid-American Conference in 2022, which folded after that season in men's soccer. The Ohio Valley Conference, where the Cougars played a year ago, and now they're looking to settle down and stabilize in the Northeast Conference. Chicago State's next matchup after this one on September 29th against LIU will be their NEC opener.
Coach House mentioned as well that changing in conferences, that last matchup between both schools, the first matchup between both programs. It's obviously, as he said, a Notre Dame team that has changed a few players. Chicago State has also added a few players, but overall it's about the development he's had as a head coach now in his third year, trying to bounce back.
Beno forces a turnover. Here comes Rue, who trips over. Now Chicago State can counter. Long ball forward in the direction of Odeyambo. Genenbacher defends it. Finds Blake Kelly. We get a first glimpse at the freshman goalkeeper from Holt, Michigan, who has started now all 6 matches for the Irish thus far. .667 his save percentage. Flanagan laterally for about 4. Goes down from behind. Play on, says the official. Now he blows the whistle. Mike Stutt, the referee, awarding a free kick for Chicago State on the green foul. About 4 had the first look at it. Chicago State throwing bodies all over the place to keep Notre Dame out of a dangerous area right there. Stutt is the head referee tonight. His assistants are Aaron Rollins and Justin Bell. Brian Alvarez, the alternate official. Notre Dame remaining patient. Now Genenbacher goes long up the sideline for Flanagan, but the side spin on that long ball has it trickle out. Throw into Chicago State. And Zafin Brockert-Kress, the junior defender from Farmington Hills, Michigan, Liberia, his birthplace. Notre Dame turns him over in a hurry. And now here's Beno, the captain, finding Nolan Spicer through to Matthew Rue. Rue angling away, defended nicely by Brian Cuevas Tapio, wearing the number 3 kit tonight. And here comes a set piece chance for Kyle Genenbacher and his patented long throw. Senior heaves it in. It's down for about 4 and straight on goal for a save from Lucas Fontana, his first of the night.
And you talked about that play style that the Irish have, that set piece that they get from a throw-in by Genenbacher. And they're close to finding Bafour this time around, who was about to find the net. Goes right to the center where Fontana was well positioned. But a great attempt by the Irish.
KK Bafour has now started all 6 games for the Irish in the center midfield position. His offensive pressure has picked up recently. He now has 7 shot attempts in his last 3 matches, 9 shots on the season overall, just 1 assist, however, to show for in the points category. Plenty Plenty of time and space for the Irish back line. Now Genenbacher has to make a shifty move. Pressure on from Odhiambo. Here he comes again. Look at his speed to win that ball away from the back line. Now he'll try to test Kelly, and it angles just over the bar.
And this is exactly what Chicago State wants. High pressure, those opportunities to surprise the Irish. Great attempt there by Odhiambo. He's got the experience. He's a guy that really likes to take his shots whenever he sees an opportunity. 4 shots by Odhiambo at Cleveland State, 2 shots in goal at NIU with 1 assist, 1 goal versus Detroit Mercy so far by him in the season. He's looking to get another one tonight, and he's been very active for the first few minutes of the game.
It's a former transfer from Georgia Southern, and also a former captain of the Kenyan U17 national team, so plenty of different backgrounds in his past on the soccer pitch. Sebastian Green likewise just going over the top with service toward goal. Fontana will have a chance with a goal kick just 11 minutes in. Lucas Fontana, very familiar with college soccer in the state of Illinois. He's played at both Bradley and Illinois Central College. He became Chicago State's top goalkeeper last year, appearing in 18 games. 24 saves for him. 6 matches coming into tonight this year.
You can see as well with that last stat, 24 saves by Fontana so far, just how much of an attacking set of opponents Chicago State has faced so far.
Nolan Spicer sends it across. The Cougars collapse on it well. There's the clearance from Brockert Kress. This time Arafath Urunau is on the charge. Urunau can't quite get there ahead of Mitch Ferguson. Chicago State's got some speed up front with Urunau from Lome Togo and Odhiambo, the Kenyan. Notre Dame on the move again. The Irish tonight going for their first home win of the season after draws against Akron and Duquesne here, and last Saturday's aforementioned loss to Stanford. This is game number 3 in a 6-game homestand for the Irish that will feature a marquee matchup against Clemson, a College Cup final rematch next Friday. Spicer from Bonneau, down he goes, a clean play. Here comes Ramsey on the slide. He missed the ball, and there's the whistle from Mike Stutt, awarding the Chicago State free kick. And Ramsey's a bit shaken up as he goes back to the deck right near midfield.
I would say the leader so far of this Irish team in the defense. 6 games by the Irish. He started 06. He played the full 90 in 06. He's definitely one of the most involved men back there when it comes to the solidness we've seen from the Irish in their defense. And they're looking at recovering him for the remainder of the game tonight.
See his slide tackle attempt once again. Came in pretty early and just missed the ball and might have uncomfortably clipped. Brockert Kress on the move there. Now there's a foul against Flanagan, with Odhiambo navigating in tight quarters. I mentioned Josh Ramsey's leadership on the Irish back line tonight marks career start number 67 for him. Odhiambo's in, but offside. He snuck around Genenbacher on the right side of that Notre Dame defensive group. The Cougars picked him out well, but he was just a bit too far forward. JJ, Notre Dame maybe a bit surprised so far on the back line with the skill and athleticism of these Chicago State Cougars, especially up front. They've had some looks
Yeah, you can see the threat that Odeyambo is possessing to them right now. This is exactly the game that Coach House wanted to play. He likes his team to attack, as we mentioned before. I think they're doing exactly just that so far. And even when they're not attacking, they've been playing some really good soccer to get Notre Dame really quickly out of the ball. They've had some opportunities, but as long as they don't transform them into a goals and Chicago State keeps attacking, everything can happen.
Spicer wins the ball from Joshua Seniceros. Now the cross goes all the way back out toward midfield. We haven't yet seen much from number 33 in black, Daniil Sergeyev, the leading scorer for Chicago State. There he was pressuring Ramsey. Sergeyev 3 goals on the year, 12 for his Chicago State career. He plays more of an attacking midfield position for Chicago State, but will jump up to the front lines on occasion. Rue looking to win body position and earns the corner kick for Notre Dame. That'll be the first Irish corner of the night. KK Balfour, the one to take it. Driven high, Genenbacher catches a piece, and Notre Dame has the opening goal. A handshake and a 1-0 Irish lead as Kyle Genenbacher becomes the first to 2 goals on the year for the Fighting Irish.
What a great start by the Irish in the moment where they needed the goal. We know KK Balfour in his first post corners, the near post corners we've seen throughout the season. This one comes into the small box, right in the box, and here's Genenbacher with a great header, bounces right off the feet as well of Sergeyev, which we previously mentioned, and it goes past Fontana.
Pinball wizardry from Genenbacher to angle that one off the inside of Sergiev's left boot. Found its way home for the Irish first goal of the night. Genenbacher's second of the year, number 5 for his 66-match career. Last year's All-ACC third-teamer. Reopens his account. Goal number 2 on shot number 2 this season. Balfour picks up the set-piece assist. That's his second assist of the season. Flanagan to Spicer. Down he goes from behind. That's an easy call against Hillary Odeyambo. Flanagan and Spicer, 2 of Notre Dame's youngest players on the field. They've had a big impact early on this season, not necessarily showing up in the goal column. They each do have a goal, but they've created a lot of chances on that right side for the Irish.
Yeah, it's interesting to see both of them today on the right. We typically only see one of them in the starting lineup. Today, both of them are in. And that tells you how much potential and how much emphasis Coach Riley wants to make on the runs wide. You've got all of the explosiveness that Balfour has on the left, while you get Flanagan and Spicer on the right, alongside your right back that just scored a goal.
Both of them are sophomores. Spicer maybe a little bit more proven, an All-ACC freshman team selection last year, but all you need to know about the respect Flanagan's skill set and potential has is by asking Notre Dame's captain Bryce Bonneau. We asked him, hey, who's your breakout candidate for Notre Dame with everybody sitting on 1 goal right now? And his answer was Jack Flanagan. He chases down a ball forward from Spicer, seeks out Rue. Here comes Spicer, flying in to keep it alive for the Irish. Balfour seeks him out again, and Fontana sprawls on the action to cover it up.
It's going to be interesting to see now the first few attacks of Chicago State after conceding that goal. They were attacking before the goal came in. They got to keep attacking now if they want to score the one that equalizes everything, but the Irish seem to be looking for a second one. They want to make sure to get that first home win, as we previously mentioned today. So let's see how Chicago State responds to the momentarily losing 1-0.
Right, Lewis, another sophomore, getting it back from Flanagan. His connection with Balfour interrupted, and now here is Uru now. Pressure continues from the Irish, but no, a heavy shoulder, and that draws a foul call. The Irish captain sent Luca Asaf, a sophomore Frenchman, to the dirt.
Asaf, one of the goal scorers for Chicago State so far this season as well, with 1 goal, 1 shot on goal versus NIU. 6 games play as starter, constant starter. He had a trial with the Whitecaps, passed the trial, still loyal to the Chicago State program here. We'll see if tonight he can get a go in.
Cougars clear all the way back to Blake Kelly. Still has the most saves in a match by any ACC keeper this season, with his 8 back on August 29th at Indiana. About 4 on the move. Finding Green on the wing. Green creates an angle. There's Rue. There's the second for Notre Dame. Man, did that develop fast. It's Rue's second goal of the season, and maybe one that starts a breakout for the senior forward.
And Coach Riley mentioned that as long as he keeps on attempting those shots, he's eventually going to find the goal. He finds the goal tonight for the second time this season. He's been very active for the past few games. Extremely active tonight with a goal now. And that's the path forward that Notre Dame wants and that Rue wants as well for his Irish teammates.
Matthew Rue picks up his 23rd career goal, and the Irish with a pair in quick succession before the midway point of the first half. Kyle Genenbacher with the opening strike in the 16th minute, and then just 4 minutes and 6 seconds later, Matthew Rue off the assist from Sebastian Green makes it a pair for the Irish.
We saw Chicago State after that goal get together again, the entire team trying to reconvene to make sure they don't lose the focus, because they started the game playing pretty well, pretty good football. They now have conceded 2 goals, but we saw the potential they have prior to that first goal by the Irish. Note Yambo as the captain trying to tell his teammates to keep the focus going and see if they can get one and begin a potential bounce back.
Green looking for Spicer, and that one's just off the outside of the cage and wide.
Great attacking play by Spicer coming into the box from behind. He goes past 2 defenders, goes past Ceniceros precisely, and it just goes wide.
Heavy touch, Genenbacher wins it back for Flanagan. But then he takes a heavy move himself. And the Cougars have a chance to settle it back down with Cuevas Tapia. Now the keeper, Fontana. Turnover. About 4 inside the 18, just wide. He looked to curl it inside the far post with the right foot. But just shy of the first half's midway point, he comes up empty.
What a shot by Balfour, taking advantage of that defensive mistake by Chicago State. It's one of those players in the Irish that we see them so many times providing assists to the other players. But the Irish has got a set of midfielders, attacking midfielders specifically, that can do some really good shots. And here was Balfour trying to get one past Fontana.
Notre Dame forces another turnover. Here's Rue, the second goal scorer for Notre Dame. Ramsey with space up the left side. 6 shots now total for Notre Dame, 3 on goal, 2 of them in the goal. Flanagan tracks it down. Left-footed service, Bafour rises high, but loses the height advantage to Shaquan Reed. Chicago State has a throw in on the far side.
Moment of possession for the Irish as well right now. So we see them as well put some calm on their game. Still hungry for more, but obviously trying to ensure that they can settle in, that they can enjoy the moment. The Irish needed a start like this to a game after a few games in which they've been attacking, but they've been unable to find the goal as often as they would like to. They found it twice already this game, and they've had opportunities to find it even more. They're trying to ensure right now some focus in the game and ensuring that they can grasp the victory this time around.
And to your point, Notre Dame, 36 shots in the previous 2 matches, both at home. Coming into this one, only 1 goal to show for it. That second half Nolan Spicer strike against Duquesne back on September the 10th. The Irish have already doubled that output with 2 in the opening 25 minutes tonight. Kyle Genenbacher, the first goal scorer off a corner kick header, brings in the throw. Plenty of space for Bonneau. Here's Green on the outside. It was a 4-0 result in favor of the Irish. The only other time Notre Dame and Chicago State met back in 2022. It was another mid to late September matchup here at Alumni Stadium. Before turning in traffic. Now the foul comes in against now Sergiev.
And you mentioned those 36 shots by the Irish on the past 2 games. That shows you what Coach Riley mentioned to us before the game, how despite not getting the ideal results they want, it's an Irish team that has been improving. Prior to this, during their first 3 games, the opponents had outshot actually Notre Dame 38 shots to 27. They bounced back from that statistic. They now outshot their 2 rivals. And so far, they're winning here, 2-0.
Before the chip, and again just above the bar. As Notre Dame closed in on the backside with Ferguson, creating a dangerous opportunity. Seventh shot of the match so far for Notre Dame.
It just shows you how much KK Buffer can give you. He can shoot, he can send over a corner, he can send over a dangerous free kick. It's one of the most important figures in this Irish team. Even when the goals don't come his way, he's over there on the left supplying to all of his teammates through so many different styles of play. He comes into the center as well whenever they need him, just like now. Such a great player for the Irish.
That last set piece opportunity for Notre Dame was whistled back due to an offside, so the header against Ferguson doesn't go down officially. Strong run from Uru now generates a foul, and Chicago State will have a free kick opportunity just about 30 to 35 yards out. Bryce Bonneau is hounding him from behind.
And watch out for this one. We know the height of Chicago State's attackers. Coach House mentioned that how this is one of their dangerous areas. But beyond the set piece they can create, Watch out as well for Sergeyev, who wants to take a shot. He's in the ball with Odiambo. And it seems it's going to be Sergeyev, the one who's going to go direct into Kelly's goal.
For number 34, Joshua Seniceros here. He stands at 6'4" and has moved up from the back line. Low on goal. Kelly's got it cleanly, falling forward to cover up the free kick chance.
Tried to surprise Sergeyev with a low shot. Kelly well positioned. Gets a quick hold of the ball.
Kelly, a former top 100 ranked player by Top Drawer Soccer in the Nation, valedictorian at Salt Lake Academy High School. His camaraderie with that Notre Dame back line continues to develop in his first season. He's got plenty of experienced men to work with back there. College Cup season players like Genenbacher, Ramsey, and Ferguson. Chicago State looks to break through them, but Uru now's forward attempt is bumped away. Four goes down on a clean play, and that one's well wide off the foot of Sergeyev, setting up an Irish goal kick.
Seemed like a fall on Bafour. The referee discussing with the number 10 of the Irish why he didn't call it a fall, but nevertheless Sergeyev's shot goes pretty wide from Kelly's goal. It's going to be a goal kick for the Irish.
Kelly relocates the ball and orders his men forward. Under 16 minutes to play in the first half. The first half controlled largely by the Irish, who lead 2-0. The long ball clears Flanagan and trickles out under Brockert Kress's watch. Applying the pressure. The Irish handle him. Now Lewis turns it over, and here comes the counter from Chicago State. Sergeyev ahead for Uru now. Ferguson has to slide to keep him away from it. Genenbacher bails him out. And now here's Spicer. Irish with a chance to move back the other direction as the pace intensifies. Flanagan. Lewis. Notre Dame switches over to KK Bafour. Sebastian Green. Bonneau one more time. He slides it past Bonneau. Lewis settles that hopping ball and locates Ramsey just in front of the Irish bench. 14:20 to play in the first half. Notre Dame up 2-0 on goals by Genenbacher and Roux.
Two changes seem to be coming on for the Irish. The next stoppage of play. We'll see perhaps with this changes where Coach Riley wants to take this portion of the first half. It's typically a portion of the half where the Irish try to slow down a little bit, but they also gotta be attentive to not leaving space for Chicago State to generate opportunities when it comes to the last 10 minutes of this first half.
Fontana scoops up the long ball as KK Bafour chased after it for the Irish. We asked Chicago State head coach Norris Howes about his keeper Fontana, and he mentioned that the senior does very well in terms of organizing and getting the back line where it needs to be especially, and also is usually quite crisp handling the ball at his feet. Everybody's comfortable playing the ball back to him. Notre Dame might test him one more time here with Roux. Bonneau stepping forward. Back out to Roux. Genenbacher ahead from the back line. Seeking Green, who leaps high in the air. And there goes Fontana to nab it. One of his teammates slow back to his feet on the back line. Shaquan Reed, again, who went up in the air with Sebastian Green.
You mentioned precisely the the trust that Chicago State has on Lucas Fontana. That's what you get when you have a senior back there. I mean, he's been playing for quite a while with this team. Last season, 11 games played as a junior, 22 goals allowed, 38 saves. This season, 13 goals allowed by Fontana, but nevertheless, quite a few memorable performances. Versus NIU, he faced 17 shots, 7 saves by Fontana. And he's one of the leaders in the Chicago State team that, as I was mentioning before, he is a senior, but Coach House also mentioned in a team with so many freshmen, how even his sophomore players are already leaders when it comes to the locker room and getting all of those new players in the dynamic of play they have.
Notre Dame makes a couple of changes. And speaking of freshmen, there's Ian Shaw, the midfielder from North St. Paul, Minnesota, entering the action. He has really picked up his play in the attacking third as of late, taking 2 shots in each of his last 2 games, and earned the start against Stanford on Saturday. Lewis checks out along with Nolan Spicer. Jacob Bartlett, another freshman midfielder, enters the fold. Here's Shaw with Ruin about 4 ahead of him. He'll switch out to the left side for Green, who has a lot more space. Green to about 4. KK can shoot, and it's just high. Another opportunity for about 4. That's already his 4th shot of the night.
Yeah, very active from before. But also a great play by Green to join the attack. It's been great offensive determination so far by the left back. This one just goes wide again for Bafour.
Shaw forces a turnover. Beno on the move. Brew warded off nicely on the back end by Cuevas Tapia.
Great Spanish there, Tyler.
I'm doing my best. A lot of foreign products on the Chicago State side. There's one of them. Uru now from Togo. It comes out wide for Curiel. Chipping with the left foot. Genenbacher defends. Ramsey steps around Curiel, and the Irish can settle. Here's Jacob Bartlett, the Overland Park, Kansas native. Has played the full 90 in each of Notre Dame's first 2 ACC games, the first 2 conference games of his career. Mike Stutt briefly freezes the clock with under 10 minutes to go. So you got to look at Shaquan Reed, the native of Montego Bay in Jamaica.
6 games played by Reed so far. Started in 06, trying to go back to the form of his freshman season where he played 16 games and started 13 of those.
He was Chicago State's team MVP that year back in 2020-21. The Cougars were just getting off the ground as a Division I program. Under 9 minutes to play in the first half. Matthew Root, Notre Dame's most recent goal scorer, couldn't quite find about 4. Brockert Kress. Bartlett for the Irish. Shaw has about 4 on the interior. Green running out wide, and look at the green grass in front of him. Bill Okumo closes in. Back for about 4. Shaw again. Here comes Rue. His shot blocked, and the Cougars clear. Beno gets his feet tangled up with Odiyambo. And it's a foul against Chicago State. Another second look at that chance for Matthew Rue.
Yeah, the play ends on the right side of the box, but nevertheless, You mentioned how much space Green had to run. That was a result not only of the defenders being focused on what was happening on the other side of the pitch, but before coming in through the center, the Chicago State defense trying to cover him, leaving way enough space for Green to join the attack and eventually get the ball again back to the right for Root to get a shot.
It was Cuevas Tapia who made the block against Matthew Rue. Transfer from Rockford Valley College. Before had Green wide open on a potential through ball, but the Cougars closed in just in time and now win a free kick right near midfield. 7 minutes to play in the first half. The Irish ahead 2-0 on goals by Kyle Genenbacher, a header in the 16th minute, and then Matthew Rue in the final second of minute number 20. From keeper to keeper it goes. Blake Kelly, who has made a save in the first half, scoops it up for the Irish. Quick passing frees up Aiden Lopez. Odhiambo circles back. Lopez again, the freshman from Waco, Texas, turns it over to Shaw. Ford turns on the accelerator, gets tripped up, there's the foul. And here comes the yellow card, yep.
Yeah, yellow card on Bill Akumu. It's their fall on before from 10 to 10. It's a match that I think that has been one of the momentum factors of the game. The amount of falls we've seen on the midfield specifically to try and stop any counterattack from both teams, because we've also seen some falls by Notre Dame, but it's been one of the recurrent strategies as well from Chicago State to try to dispossess the Irish from any threats.
This time it's a foul against Notre Dame. Kumu goes into the book, and Orafath Uru now is slow to get up. This is his first game back since August the 25th at Northern Illinois. Odhiambo. But trailing, Odhiambo takes a long distance shot and didn't catch it cleanly. It's well wide to the left. And with under 5 minutes until the break, it's a Kelly goal kick. It's a quality crowd on hand here in South Bend. A busy night for Notre Dame Athletics. Just next door, the Irish volleyball team has been in play against Indiana. The Leprechaun is out in full force with a drum in front of a sizable crowd here at Alumni Stadium.
And it always gets more sizable whenever it's on a football weekend.
A lot of Notre Dame football fans have made the trip in for tomorrow's game at Notre Dame Stadium. And hey, why not catch some men's college soccer as your appetizer? Perhaps the main fixture for some of these folks in the crowd. The main fixture for us tonight. But no. Locates Matthew Rue. He ends up in a log jam. The quality defense of Seniceros turns the Irish over. Here come the Cougars. Ramsey defending. It's Aiden Lopez going between the legs of Ferguson. And Ramsey comes sliding back in to force the corner kick. It'll be the first corner of the evening for Chicago State.
And this is what I was mentioning before. The Irish slow down the pace of their game when it comes to the last minutes of the first half typically. They just gotta stay focused and make sure that they don't concede a goal, as it's been a moment where they're used to seeing their opponent attacking for the past few games.
Bruno Baez with the corner. It comes in low, and Sebastian Green knocks it away. Ball re-enters the 18, and Kelly high points the ball, settling down the Chicago State chance. Flanagan, what a step around against Brackard Kress. Asaf comes in to defend his move forward. And ultimately, it's a goal kick for Fontana and the Cougars. There's a foul against Notre Dame with 90 seconds remaining until halftime. Perhaps one last opportunity for Chicago State to pressure the Irish, trailing by a pair of goals. Fontana goes long. Green's back there. He's been all over the field tonight up that left side for Notre Dame. Flanagan runs into the slide of Siniceros. Genenbacher has the throw in for the Irish with a minute to play. Uru now the interception. Ferguson a disciplined play to locate Genenbacher. How about that speed from Shaw to track down the loose ball? 28 seconds to go. About 4 in the waning moments for Green. Left-footed to Rue. 3 for Notre Dame. Just 22 seconds until halftime. Notre Dame finds a way to strike on the counterattack. And the Irish have a trio in the first half.
Beautiful direct play by Bafour to Green to Rue to the back of the net. Great play by the Irish, great play overall, great counterattack overall. And Rue finds his second of the night. It's the night that the Irish were looking for so desperately so far this first half.
Rue collects his brace in the 45th minute, his third goal of the season. He has scored each of the last 2 for Notre Dame. And Sebastian Green and KK Bafour each collect their second assists of the night. Just a beautifully developed play up the middle part of the pitch for the Irish. It's all Notre Dame as the first half comes ticking to a close.
The referee's having a look at it. I think Chicago State was asking for a possible offside. So far the goal stands.
Rue the closest one to that video review gathering between the benches. He's antsy to find out if his second goal of the match will stand up. Call on the field was a good goal. Here's the look. Right away, it was the man marking Matthew Rue, Siniceros, who put his hand up calling for the offside. This might be our best look at it here. Did you see anything convincing there?
Not really convincing. It's a tight one. Let's see from this angle if we can get it. He might be offside, but I don't know if Sanicero's leg is keeping him onside.
It's a lengthy review here at Alumni Stadium. So right now, it's a goal for Matthew Rue with assists to Sebastian Green and KK Bafour to put Notre Dame ahead 3-0. The final moments of the first half. It looks like a call has been decided upon. Chad Riley will receive the word first. And now Norris Howes. It's a good goal. And Notre Dame does indeed go up 3-0 on Matthew Rue's brace.
Yeah, I was telling you about that right leg from Ceniceros. I don't know if in the right moment when Rue is about to receive the ball, Ceniceros' leg is keeping him on side. It's the effectiveness of having such a direct build-up play, the one we just saw. Such quick passes. Your defender is still running. He doesn't really have the time to think about playing the offside. And it seems to be sufficient for Rue to keep on side and score his second of the night. Third for the Irish.
Chicago State sends a handful of men forward for this long Fontana ball. It pinballs around. Chance to chip for Baez. Kelly corrals it. They'll dribble out the first half. Notre Dame has to be pleased with this opening 45 minutes. 9 shots, 3 goals, and the Irish lead by a trio heading into the midway break. JJ, your thoughts as the Irish took control early and held on?
2 from Rue, 1.
Chad Riley has to be pleased with the performance of his group of players thus far. And when we heard from Bryce Bonneau throughout the week heading into this match, one of the items that he had taken such pride in with this year's team and his leadership is that Notre Dame doesn't have any type of a division between classes. Anybody can approach anybody else with concerns, with maybe hey, you need to pick up the slack a little bit. You're not playing up to our standard. And to Bonneau and to Chad Riley and this whole Notre Dame group, that's really helped them come together and mesh just a month into the season here.
Yeah, that's going to be crucial if they want to have another long season as the one they had last year, for sure. Even more given the fact that Coach Riley is not only making the freshmen, a part of the team by giving them some minutes at some point in the game. No, the freshmen are starting. Today we've seen Kelly in particularly, how much he's trusted them. We've seen other freshmen. So they are an integral part of the team by now.
One of the newer freshmen, Will Schrader, we didn't see much of in the first half, has checked in, wearing number 14 in the midfield circle right now for Notre Dame. Spicer on the right side for the Irish. This one driven back towards Sebastian Green, who collected 2 assists in the first half. Another freshman, Ian Shaw. KK Bafour somehow wins the corner kick. Back healing it off a defender. Bafour, another chance at a corner kick. The first one he took earlier tonight resulted in a goal, the first of his 2 assists. He's done a little bit of everything tonight for the Irish.
Let's see if he continues on the near post or if it goes to the second post and mixes things up a bit this time around.
This time it'll be an outswinger. Chicago State defends nicely. Lands back for Bafour near the corner. Schrader, give and go with Bafour. There'll be a throw-in coming up for Notre Dame. The Irish goals in the first half. In the 16th minute, it was Kyle Genenbacher from KK Bafour on a corner kick. In the 20th minute, Matthew Rue from Sebastian Green. And in the 45th minute, with just 22 seconds left in the first half, Matthew Rue from Sebastian Green and Bafour. Long throw from Genenbacher, sails near Matthew Rue. Comes out to Green. And KK Bafour was offside, receiving that pass at the edge of the area. Chicago State a chance to possess for the first time in half number 2. Notre Dame unsurprisingly controlled possession during that first half. owning the ball 64% of the time, just 36% the possession rate for CSU. Turnover. Here comes Odiambo playing forward in the direction of Aiden Lopez. Ramsey shouldered him off well, and the ball trickles to Kelly.
We'll see how much Chicago State gets of these to begin the second half. They had a moment in the first half when the game was just kicking off, as we've already mentioned. Want to try to have that moment again here and potentially get at least one goal that lifts up their momentum when it comes to how they approach the second half.
Here come the Cougars again. This time it's Bruno Baez going down on a slide. A hard foul from Schrader. And this could result in a booking. It will. The yellow card is out.
Yeah, tough fall by Schrader over there. Misses the ball. Enough for Mike Studd to give him the first yellow for the Irish of the night. A yellow on Chicago State on Okumu.
Biles will be the one to take the free kick. Chicago State files players into the 18-yard box. Kelly drifts over toward the far post. As the freshman from White Plains, New York, steps up. Drills it toward goal, and it rings off the post. The rebound's put in, and Chicago State is on the board. Luka Asaf, the Frenchman, has the first goal of his season, and it's a 3-1 game.
Talk about a great free kick, and talk about Asaf, who typically plays as a midfielder, having the instinct of a forward there, with a great way to keep following the play after it hits the post. Impossible for Kelly to reach that. That's a perfect free kick that just has a little margin of error between the post and the goal. And Asaf there transforms it into the first one of the night for Chicago State.
What a free kick from Bias to set that up as he drilled it off the fingertip of Blake Kelly. It caught the woodwork and right in front of the goal mouth. The tap-in was available for Asaf. Now the question, can Chicago State keep some pressure applying against Notre Dame? Sebastian Green steps through. Quality defense from Reed. Here come the Cougars up the middle. But no, another aggressive turnover. Rue's available, looking for the shot, and there's the hat trick for Matthew Rue. What a response from Notre Dame as Rue picks up his third of the night, his fourth of the season. We talked about his potential for breaking out here tonight. He has done it in just 50 minutes time.
Uno, dos, tres, and free from stress go the Irish, literally. After Chicago State had gotten one back in the game, the Irish bounce back with a player that's needed, especially for these moments when things could go sideways for the Irish. Rue says, calm down, we're here. I've got a hat trick now. We've got 4, and that's a great response to a great opening as well by Chicago State at the half, and now everything goes back to a 3-goal difference.
It won't work from Bryce Bonneau to start that play up with the aggressive step up to force the turnover. He collects the assists. All 4 Notre Dame goals have been assisted tonight. As the Irish take a quick water break, and the officials might be taking a look something as well for the second time tonight. Matthew Rue nearly had his second goal taken away. He would like to see his third hold up.
And it might be another potential offside, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Rue had to step back when he received the ball, as he was initially even with or just behind the Chicago State line. It was Ian Shaw's pass that found him. Another close call for Rue. Clinical finish regardless of result, as he gave Fontana no chance. Picking out that bottom left corner. The verdict is now available to go. Right you are. 4-1 Notre Dame as Rue's hat trick stands up. And the Irish, in the blink of an eye, restore the 3-goal lead. Notre Dame goal came just 39 seconds after Asaf's rebound tally to put Chicago State on the board. Now through with a hat trick for Notre Dame, the first Irish hat trick since October 27th of last season, when Edo Ento struck for 4 against Pittsburgh in a top 20 matchup. Rue also had a hat trick last year in August against IUPUI. He was a fast starter in his junior season en route to scoring 10 goals. ACC first team. And he's up to 4 on the year with his second hat trick in as many years. Here he comes again. Shaw looked for Spicer, but Fontana comes up with it for Chicago State. Another Cougar turnover. Shaw for Rue. Not much of an angle. Still it trickles through near about 4, and Reed bangs it away and out for an Irish throw-in. Gettenbacher ready for the long throw once again. He gets some help from an Irish reserve to clean the ball off. Moves it forward. Rue chests it down for about 4. We're still on it. Chicago State settling on someone to finally clear it. Now Odiambo knocks it off of Shaw. Here come the Cougars up the left side. Sergiev runs out of real estate. Sebastian Green as the Irish switch fields. Baez with a slide, and he takes out Josh Ramsey, and here comes the card once again. It's a yellow for Mike Stutt, the second against Chicago State tonight.
That was a tough hit. We're seeing Chicago State apply pressure on attack, high pressure by the Cougars. And that high pressure can sometimes lead you to make some excessive use of force, some excessive pressure precisely, leading to these mistakes. Heavy hit on Ramsey, but he seems to recover.
Baez played a pivotal role in Chicago State's only goal tonight, with a free kick that rang off the post, and clanked right in front of the goal mouth where Luka Soft stepped up and buried Chicago State's 50th minute tally. And there will be a review for that yellow card against Baez. It's a potential upgrade. VAR's gotten some use tonight. This is the third time Mike Studd has made his way over toward the monitor. First, he'll have a word with both Chad Riley of Notre Dame and Norris Howes of Chicago State. Another look at the foul with Baez playing aggressively. It was that trail leg, the left leg, that came in and caught the shin of Ramsey to knock him down. It was the lead foot, the right foot looked like it went by harmlessly.
He never touches the ball. It could have been more dangerous had he hit him right on the ankle. I think that could save him from a potential red card. But it's a rough call, honestly, because it's a heavy hit.
The review is complete, and it remains a yellow against Bruno Baez.
Yeah, that seems like the right call by Mike Studd. As you were mentioning before, 3 VAR uses so far in this game. 5 goals, 3 VAR uses. I mean, what a better way to spend your Friday night.
Plenty of action tonight in the South Bend. Just the start of a loaded weekend of ACC play. It's one of the few non-conference matches involving an Atlantic Coast team. Notre Dame on the run again. Matthew Rue is in, but the flag's up. Shot sails high anyway, never a chance at his fourth. Spicer picked him out. He was not quite on. And all the white jerseys surrounding Chicago State's brief possession. Now Odiambo fights against Balfour. Notre Dame keeps control, however. Shaw turning quickly with it. Odiambo chases from behind. Now it's out for Spicer. Shaw again. Sends it in toward Rue. He got a piece of it. Now it falls back for Shaw. Freshman from Minnesota leaves for Spicer. Now Bonneau back to Spicer. Heavy touch. Corner kick Notre Dame.
You can see the Irish keep on attacking. Throughout the past few games when we've talked with Coach Riley, the phrase that's been constantly repeated is the 90-minute team he wants to see. As long as they keep attacking, I think that's the version of play that Coach Riley is trying to give his players, and so far they're getting it tonight.
Four goes high and beyond everybody. Green tracks it down for the Irish. Rue. Chicago State clears to the top of the 18 and now just short of midfield where Bonneau sends it back to Ferguson, the defender remaining forward for Notre Dame. Here comes Odiambo. Switching the field left to right, Baez is there. Bonneau with good defense. Here comes Rue as the Irish make a move in transition. Bonneau right back to Spicer. What a play there from the Irish. Now a chip in Balfour's direction, but it's right on goal for Fontana to cover it up.
You can see the gestures by Lucas Fontana, precisely trying to keep calm for the Cougars. It seems as if the Irish are having such an intensity in attack that even Chicago State's goalkeeper knows that the momentum must be stopped in a way, and one of those ways is trying to slow down the pace of the game.
About 4 left it behind, perhaps expecting Matthew Rue, who was trailing the play. Fontana, the only one in the vicinity for Chicago State. Notre Dame keeping its foot firmly on the gas pedal. No letdown, even up 3 goals from Chad Riley's Fighting Irish.
See how Chicago State even has their back line near the middle of the pitch. So being played on, it's being all played on Notre Dame's side of the pitch. There's still this attacking determination from the Cougars, but the Irish being pretty good in maintaining the possession so far during the second half.
Got it again here. KK about forward turning. Locating Spicer wide to the right. Crowd comes back into the mix. Shaw for Notre Dame as the Irish keep circling. Spicer moves it back to him, now about 4. Inside the 18. Bartlett. Snaking it through to Matthew Rue. Chicago State sends it away from him as Luka Asaf defended. And now numbers on the right side. Here comes Sergiev with Baez accompanying him. Sergiev fires and Kelly's got it.
Another shot by Sergiev. This time around in a more attacking position, Sergiev, to start the second half. The Bulgarian star of the Cougars. Perhaps giving some support up front to Odeyambo. Seeing if he can get the second one of the night for the Cougars.
4 shots on goal now tonight for Chicago State. Blake Kelly has made 2 saves. The Irish go high and long for Sebastian Green. He just keeps it in play. Now goes one-on-one with Shaquan Reed. Still less than 15 minutes into the second half. Already 2 video reviews, one on Rue's hat trick goal, another on a yellow card against Bruno Baez. Slowed play down just a little bit, but the ball's been moving. Pace has been high. Notre Dame makes another move into the attacking third. Here's about 4. Chipping for Rue. Can he get there first? He does, but is offside.
Rue seems to be hungry for more, even with a hat trick. That tells you how much this game means for the Irish. They've got quite a schedule this upcoming week. 2 more games. Next Friday, a rematch of the 2023 final against Clemson.
Before that, the Irish will take on Detroit Mercy, the one team Chicago State defeated so far this season. That match on Tuesday here at Alumni Stadium.
You'll have to deal with us again.
I guess so. Here comes Odiambo for Chicago State. Genenbacher defends him. And the Irish simply clear and set up a Chicago State throw-in. Baez. Ramsey just turns on his physicality and shoves him off the ball. Now Shaw switches the field over to Spicer. Notre Dame up 4-1 on goals by Kyle Genenbacher in the 16th minute, and a hat trick by Matthew Rue. He scored in the 20th, 45th, and 51st minutes. Chicago State tallied in the 50th minute on a free kick. That led to a rebound. Lucas soft banged it in. Bartlett turning back in traffic, and he's tripped up for a foul. There's a little bit of extracurricular activity between him and Sergio. Play resumes, and here's Green with space.
Great game by Green so far.
2 assists for the junior midfielder from Monterey, California. Spicer on the opposite wing nearly sets up Rue's fourth, but the header's just wide.
So we were mentioning a few minutes ago, Rue's looking for the fourth. He's hungry for more. This one goes wide. Nevertheless, another great play by the Irish. Both sides, left and right, to get into the box, find Rue, and to nearly get their 5th one of the night.
5 shots now for Matthew Rue. Entered the night with 11 in his previous 2 games. Now 16 shots in the last 3 matches to start this lengthy Irish homestand for the senior forward, Notre Dame's leading scorer. Odiambo marching through a couple defenders. The ball dives for him perfectly on the end line. Chicago State sustaining some possession in the attacking third. It'll continue on an errant Irish pass. 26 minutes to play as you take a look at Matthew Rue's stat line as he continues to find himself for the first time, really, as the leader of Notre Dame's line. The past couple of years, he's had some additional support up front, surrounded by players like Daniel Russo, who graduated last year, and Eno Ento, who moved on from the program. 2 guys who were right up there with Rue a season ago in the goals column. But now it's really just Rue. KK Balfour can help him out at times up front, but he's a center midfielder by trade, and the additional forwards that Rue has to work with beside him are much younger now. You think about players like Jack Flanagan, the sophomore, a man who didn't see the field last year as a freshman. It's really all on Rue's shoulders now, and tonight he's delivered.
Yeah, he needed a game like this one to precisely prove that point, that even without the help of Ento, even without all of the support he had as not being the only man of the Irish super forwards last year, he can deliver, and it seems to be all from him, at least for right now.
2 changes for Notre Dame on the back line. Sean McDowell checks in for the previously banged up Josh Ramsey, and up front Matthew Rue has departed for Jack Flanagan. Dowd takes his first touch. Sophomore from Lake Oswego, Oregon. Didn't play last Saturday against Stanford, but has filtered into the lineup at times with Mitch Ferguson out. Flanagan runs offside, and with under 24 minutes to play, Chicago State can reset as you get a glimpse at the substitutions. Ferguson, Genenbacher, about 4, but no. And Green have been in there from the start for Notre Dame. About 4. Cleanly turns away from Akumo, but runs into Arjan Korolik, a sophomore from Chicago who has recently checked into the match. Goal kick for Notre Dame as Genenbacher trapped it in the corner. The second half's midway point approaches. Both teams have struck once since halftime. Just 39 seconds apart. Luka Asaf for Chicago State in the 50th minute. Matthew Rue with his hat-trick goal in the 51st. Shaw chipping forward and picking out Flanagan. Spicer centralizes and retreats out to the wing on Shaw's return feed. Dowd under some duress. The charging Dasha Curiel right on his heels. Kelly clears to midfield. Here comes Flanagan. The flag remains down. Balfour's in with him. A wonderful defense from Arjan Korolik. Thwarts the 2-on-1 chance.
Great defending. Definitely. Flanagan looking to pass the ball towards Balfour. As you mentioned, not necessarily a guy with goals, but a guy that's always there in attack, a guy that provides lots of assists, the leader when it comes to set pieces for the Irish. And now he's going to be the one to take this corner.
Four arcs it high. There's Genenbacher again. Contact at the top of the 6-yard box and a foul against Notre Dame before the Irish tapped it in. Take a second look on a physical play. Now Chicago State's on the march with Jaquan Reed looking for space. Curiel turns away from Green. But no there for the interception, coming back for help defensively. Genenbacher under pressure. Irish break through the high press from Chicago State. Now here's Balfour with Green, an option out to the left. Green seeking out Flanagan, it finds him, and he puts it through for Notre Dame's 5th goal. Jack Flanagan, his captain's breakout pick, scores his 2nd goal of the season and makes it 5-1.
it's a night of dreams for the Irish. 3 from Rue, 1 from Gennebacher, 1 from Flanagan now. Replacing Rue, coming in as the main striker. Gets it past Fontana's legs. He gets the 5th win of the night for Notre Dame.
Sebastian Green on the goal collects his 3rd assist of the night. Boy, has he had a wonderful performance. He called it out earlier in the second half. Green just continues to set up his teammates, and this time Flanagan's the beneficiary with his 2nd career goal.
Yeah, definitely a great move by Coach Riley today, knowing what to expect as well and where he could find some spaces. He goes for a little bit more of experience coming from the decision of having Green here on the field instead of Bartlett. Nevertheless, Green makes a great game, 3 assists already. And Bartlett has also had some minutes, but Green has been just amazing on the left back position today for the Irish.
Notre Dame now a goal away in this match from equaling its season total coming in. Meanwhile, Chicago State goes long, and Kelly has to come out and beat Dasha Curiel to the spot. Notre Dame entered this match with 6 goals on the season in 5 games. The Irish have put 5 on the board tonight alone. 3 from Matthew Rue, the opener from Kyle Gennebacher, and the 5th from Jack Flanagan.
It's the ideal night for the Irish. The ideal night. They were looking for a win, their first home win. We knew that coming into this 6 home game stretch, there would be some tough matchups. But as a team, you got to know how to bounce back from those matchups. And they seem to have bounced back with 5 goals after a tough loss against Stanford.
Chicago State trying to bounce back from Notre Dame's 5th as Aiden Lopez picks up some speed. The Irish defend him and force the ball back to Kelly. Charles pass knocked away. Here comes Sebastian Green. What a career night he's had in the assist department. Assists for Sebastian Green represent a career high. In fact, he had never assisted in a collegiate match before tonight. He all of a sudden has 3 in this game. As Notre Dame makes a couple changes, Wyatt Lewis returns to the field for KK Bafour.
Rosie Lewis now in a more offensive position when it comes to his role in the midfield, typically making the double defensive midfielder duo with Bryce Brunel, now replacing Bafour as the more offensive midfielder in this Irish team.
Look at Green hounding that one. Finally forcing a Chicago State throw-in. Bartlett forces a turnover, but a clean sliding play from Ceniceros wins the ball back for Chicago State. Long distance shot, easily handled by Kelly. Aldo Jimenez, the sophomore forward from Streamwood, Illinois, took the shot. As we approach the final 15 minutes of play here in South Bend. Stick around for our post-game coverage here from Alumni Stadium. We'll recap the match, talk over what it means for Notre Dame and Chicago State moving forward, and then Throw it down to Reese Sanders, who will be standing by with tonight's man of the match. He'll have a few options to choose from on that Notre Dame side, so long as the Irish hang on to their 4-goal cushion the rest of the way. Now it's Genenbacher for Notre Dame. Sneaking it through to Bartlett. His attempt to locate Shaw goes wayward for Chicago State. Throwing final 15 minutes now here at Alumni Stadium. The Irish in control and in the lead from the 16th minute on. Lewis earns a free kick in threatening territory for the Irish as Korlick commits the foul. A set piece generated Notre Dame's first goal of the night. Good at setup number 6. Shaw and Bartlett, the 2 freshmen, stand over the ball. Bartlett has a goal this year. Shaw has not yet scored in his collegiate career. It looks like Bartlett will take it. He does and drives it well over the top for a Chicago State goal kick.
You can see now some variations coming in on both teams. Chicago State bringing back Edo Yambo. Sergeev still in the court as their 2 main offensive weapons. And when it comes to the Irish, we see minutes from guys that hadn't really had the chance tonight, trying to ensure that the fresh legs are there for the upcoming matches on both teams, but also that everyone feels a part of the team, which is crucial when you have matches every 3 days.
Flanagan ripped down from the side. That results in another Chicago State booking. And right outside the 18-yard box, Notre Dame will step into another free kick. Jai Shepard goes into the book. Or rather, Korlick. Chicago State sets up the 4-man wall. Perhaps an opportunity for a Flanagan brace. He drives it low off the wall. The ball careens around. Irish find it. Green in traffic. Back out for a find of Bonneau. His shot blocked. And now Jai Shepard's on the run, and Notre Dame slows him down. Lewis. Notre Dame has a quartet of substitutes ready to check in. Chad Riley's using the full extent of his bench tonight. Here comes Flanagan. Chance at a brace. Off the post and in. Notre Dame's 6th goal of the night is Flanagan's 2nd, and the Irish lead by 5 in the 79th minute.
If the problem for the Irish was making sure that the ball got at the back of the net, they've done it 6 times tonight with 2 different main strikers up top. 2 from Flanagan, 3 from Rue. Some defensive support as well on the attack. and a solid performance overall by the Irish.
Jacob Bartlett collects his first collegiate assist on the play as Notre Dame strikers have feasted tonight. 3 goals from the starter, Matthew Rue. Flanagan started as well and has picked up 2 in this second half. It's all Notre Dame now, 6-1, with just under a dozen minutes remaining. It's just a matter of who will emerge from the Irish bench at this point with the 5-goal cushion. Already seen some new faces head back out for the resumption of play in the Notre Dame side. There's Jacob Bartlett, the assist man on Flanagan's second goal. Wyatt Lewis remains in the contest for the Irish. He's played 39 minutes thus far tonight in the midfield. There's the goal scorer Flanagan with 2 on the night, his first collegiate brace. This crowd has had plenty to clap their hands and stomp their feet about tonight. Notre Dame has piled up the goals. Notre Dame's previous season high in the scoring column was just 2 back a couple of weeks ago against Louisville in the first ACC win of the season for the Irish. Now 6 on the board for the Irish to equal the season total that they entered this contest with.
It seems as if we've been saying that a lot, but it's truly been the ideal night for the Irish, given the way their season had started. Coach Riley expected this. He told us before the game how they were improving when it came to the delivery of play, but the results weren't there. And as long as you kept on telling the guys, keep on going with that improvement, keep on pushing forward and fixing those little things that keep you from scoring, things would get better for the Irish, and they've definitely gotten better tonight.
Sure enough, there is yet another review, although this one has not taken as much time. The reaction suggests it is a Notre Dame goal. And indeed that is the case. So 4 reviews tonight and 4 upheld calls. Jack Flanagan remains on the pitch with 2 goals on the night, both in the second half. Just looking out over at the Irish side, we can tell you that Mateo Acosta has entered on the left side of the back line. Stevie Dunphy is into the game for Notre Dame up front. Jack Ross and Nate Zimmerman have entered as well for Notre Dame. There's Dunphy applying some pressure. Bartlett chipping it ahead. Flanagan on the backside as Nico Bartlett tracks it down for Notre Dame. Here's Lewis with space, fires off a body. Irish want a handball, there's no call for it. Chicago State clears out for a Notre Dame throw. Circle back to a couple of the big storylines entering this match. It sure looks like Notre Dame's going to get its first win at home. Just what does that do for the confidence of this team as first Bartlett tries to play one through? What does that first home win do for the confidence of this Irish group just to get that monkey off their back a few weeks in now?
Yeah, it definitely helps after, as we were mentioning before, not necessarily some bad results, but not the ideal results that the Irish wanted. And it's a great way to start a week in which you'll be facing Detroit Mercy, which is another team you gotta face, you gotta battle with here at home before the big matchup potentially that they have the upcoming weekend against Clemson. One win today. Potentially, you're looking to get that second win of the week against Detroit Mercy on Tuesday and get with that 2-win streak for a rematch of the 2023 final. That's the best way that they can approach the entirety of their route this week, and that's what the Irish seem to be doing tonight, doing their homework right to be ready for the next assignment and for the big final project perhaps that they could have over the next weekend and over the next weeks with the rest of ACC play coming into stage.
Couldn't have said it any better than myself. They're student athletes. I guess you have to look at it like assignments, right?
Yeah.
But Notre Dame focused on doing it one game at a time and maximizing their performance on each given night, and they've done it today with 6 goals. Chicago State's got a corner kick coming. Bacher rises to clear, up ahead to Lopez. Chicago State's upcoming schedule features the beginning of Northeast Conference play against Long Island on September 29th. That's a Sunday match at home for Chicago State. They'll stay at home to take on Lemoyne to enter October on the 3rd. Dunphy turning with it for Notre Dame. Saros knocks it up high. Eight minutes to play. Notre Dame closing in on a second victory in this 2024 season. Bacher shielding off Chicago State attacker and forcing the throw in to bring in 2 more Notre Dame substitutes. Cleveland Sellers has entered for the Irish. And Daniel Boateng, the junior midfielder, and the white number 12. Bacher checks out for Sellers. This has really been the first chance this season for Chad Riley to unload his bench. Notre Dame faced such a difficult schedule right out of the gate. I mean, their 3-match slate to open up the season was perhaps their toughest 3-match slate all season, at least in the regular season, with Akron and Indiana on the road, then Louisville on the road. And even in the home matches against Duquesne and Stanford, the Irish have been locked into extremely close contests, but now they're filtering in a lot of the depth, and this is a great opportunity, JJ, to show yourself a little bit and give your coaching staff a taste of who you are in game speed for some of these younger players.
Yeah, and we just saw that even with Liam Egan, who just came into the match, made a save now, even given some time off for Kelly, who had played every single minute so far this season. We go from a freshman to a senior. We go from a freshman that looks like a veteran to the experience of a veteran from a senior. Played 45 minutes for the Irish over the 22 season, Liam Egan, and now he's back here and has already made another save in this 2024 season.
Liam Egan, the new keeper for Notre Dame, just played 45 minutes in his career coming into this matchup. He's back in the 2022 season. He gets a look with Blake Kelly's night concluded. The starting Irish keeper finished with 3 saves and just 1 goal allowed in 82.5 minutes. The Nico Bartlett slips it through on the backside for a low shot, and it's just wide off the foot of Nate Zimmerman. Zimmerman, the sophomore forward, that close to his first goal of the season. Jacob Bartlett forces a turnover. Here's Nico Bartlett turning with it. Sellers on the back line. Past Boateng as he reached back for it. Cougars get it to midfield with Sellers defending Curiel. Irish reinforcements come in, but Curiel keeps it with him and springs Shepard, Jaye Shepard, right onto Egan. And the backup keeper for Notre Dame makes the save.
It's 2 now for him tonight. You gotta take advantage of this few minutes whenever you have them, and he's doing that.
It's already 2/3 of the way to Kelly's save total for the night in just 3.5 minutes of action.
And it tells you a lot about this Chicago State team as well. Even with such a huge difference when it comes to how many goals they scored, they have been attempting to be an attacking team to create opportunities. As a matter of fact, they've got 9 shots, 7 of those on target. That's more shots than Stanford did last Saturday here at Alumni Stadium. Stanford only did 4 shots, 2 of them on target. Yet Chicago State is here, and they've come to display what their style of play is, remaining loyal to it, something that Coach House emphasized, and that's what they've done tonight.
Shepard again. Regardless of the outcome, like you said, for Chicago State, this will be a prime learning experience for them, and that's what Norris House talked about with us. You know, if you want to ever get to the level of a program like Notre Dame or any of the other top men's soccer schools around the country, you've got to go up against them, see what they do, see what you can do against their style of play, and then just learn from whatever happens. And that'll be the key tonight for Chicago State as Fontana comes well out of the goal and corrals it. Approaching the final 2 minutes. Possession continues to switch hands. Shaquan Reed runs down the ball for Chicago State. Contact away from the ball, and Cougar goes down and remains down. And now play is stopped with 1:48 remaining. It's Arafat Uru now getting back to his feet. Again, stay with us for post-game coverage from Alumni Stadium. We'll recap the match, take a look back at the highlights of Notre Dame's 6-1 performance, and feature our man of the match, an interview with Reese Sanders down on the field. That's all coming up after the final whistle here in South Bend. Uru now on the run, a 3-against-3 here for Chicago State. Shot whistles high, corner kick coming for the Cougars as the 90th minute approaches. Boateng, one last rush for the Irish. Long ball for Dunphy. He's on the grass, and Dunphy angles to track it down. Slide tackle against him from Siniceros forces the ball out. Only 15 seconds left as Nico Bartlett goes down, and 10 seconds to go. It'll be a free kick, and the clock stops with 7 seconds. So the Irish perhaps will have a chance to take this as the referee marks off the spot just outside the 18. Nico Bartlett, the sophomore, an Illinois native, stepping up to it. Off the wall, Chicago State cleans it up. And that'll do it. Notre Dame has secured its first home win of the season. 6-1 the final as the Irish take down Chicago State on this Friday night at Alumni Stadium.
Great win by the Irish. 6 goals to